Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Melissa Grant with the Monday, 23rd December 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you need to know this evening. President Irfan Ali has issued a stern ultimatum to the management of the Guyana Sugar Corporation, saying persistent failures to meet production targets will face intense scrutiny. Find out more from Carice Gonzalez.
President Irfan Ali has put the management of the Guyana Sugar Corporation, GuySugu, on notice, signaling that repeated shortcomings in sugar production will not be tolerated come 2025. The president made this position clear during a recent appearance on the program In the Seat. Reflecting on GuySugu's struggle over the past year, President Ali voiced dissatisfaction with the corporation's lackluster performance. He described the current state of the industry as unacceptable and demanded urgent corrective action.
I've read the write-up to the management of GuySugu. I've let them understand that we are very dissatisfied with the performance.
Additionally, the president said the management team was tasked with ensuring that targets for next year are achieved, particularly since investments sought were supported by the government. We
have supported that investment plan. So I made it very clear that if the target for 2025, the first crop target and the second crop target, if the target is not achieved, we're also bringing in the technical support to help them. But if those targets are not achieved, then heads will roll.
The president criticized the mismanagement of sugar estates and factories, noting that critical repairs and upgrades had been neglected. He said immediate efforts must be made to restore fields and modernize operations to improve productivity. In October, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAU, pointed to poor management practices as a key factor behind the sugar industry's ongoing decline. The union has consistently called for better oversight and operational reforms. Meanwhile, data from the Ministry of Finance's mid-year report for 2024 paints a grim picture of the sugar industry, which saw a 60.4% contraction during the first half of the year. With just 6,739 tons of sugar produced, the sector remains in dire straits. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, President Ali also took a swipe at the management of the Guyana Power and Light Inc., saying heads will roll if the company fails to improve its service delivery by the first quarter of 2025. Here again is Carice Gonzalez.
President Irfan Ali has issued a strong ultimatum to the management of the Guyana Power and Light GPL, stating that failure to improve service delivery to its more than 200,000 customers by the end of the first quarter of 2025 will result in serious consequences for the leadership team.
I've made it very clear to the management of GPL that heads will roll there too, that if we don't see with these investments marked improvement by the end of the first quarter, end of January, we'll start looking for the type of improvements that I expect.
The president also announced that government will commence payments for electricity from the second power ship once it is fully integrated into the national grid.
And we're not paying for any power as yet from the second power ship because the transmission line has to be in place. That transmission line, they're working on that transmission line now so that it can be connected to the second power ship because we could not have used the existing transmission system.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips recently visited the new Georgetown substation and inspected the second power ship, which is currently docked in the Demerara River. The power ship will deliver electricity to the grid through a 3.9-kilometer double-circuit line supported by approximately 22 structures. In its initial phase, the ship will supply 60 megawatts of power with an additional 15 megawatts to be added in the second phase. Acknowledging the inconvenience caused by controlled power outages, the Prime Minister assured the public that engine testing, preliminary inspections, and final connections will be completed before Christmas Day. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Come early January, the Guyana Teachers Union could be back in court. This time, two top executives of the union has threatened to take the union's general counsel before a judge. Travis Chase reports.
It would appear that President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light, will be taking the Guyana Teachers Union to court over his suspension by the Guyana Teachers Union General Counsel. In an invited comment via telephone on Monday, Dr. Light deemed his suspension and that of the union's second vice president, Julian Cambridge, illegal.
I strongly believe that the actions of the General Counsel of December the 17th is illegal, as stated in the Constitution, and all avenues will be pursued to ensure that justice is served.
Light told Nightly News last week that he was suspended by the union's general counsel over the wages and salaries deal struck between teachers and the government in August of 2024. Now, Dr. Light is prepared to haul the union he represents over the coals.
It has been 6 days, and the organization, through its communication arm, cannot issue the document which will clearly outline the reasons for the suspension and the duration of the suspension.
The GTU president explained that after careful consideration, the legality of the motion to suspend him and his second vice president has come into question.
And the GTU has always demanded of the employer, the Ministry of Education, that if you are prepared to sanction our members, it must be fairly done. And we always demand a written communication as to what the offense is on the part of the member and the action that has been taken. As you are aware, this has not been forthcoming. So if we demand this of our members, we demand this for our members from the employer. This is now 2 high-ranking members of the organization being supposedly sanctioned, and 6 days later, there is no document coming from the organization.
The Guyana Teachers Union in August of 2024 signed a multi-year agreement with the government accepting a salary increase of 10% for 2024, 8% for 2025, and 9% for 2026. The now suspended GTU's president told Nightly News that it was the very General Counsel that approved the offer by the government. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
We will have more news after this break. Stay with us.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Dolman Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we've got the most wonderful deals. Get the perfect gift from Digicel. Grab the Samsung A05 for just $17,900, the A25 for $37,900, or treat yourself to the S24 Ultra for only $205,000. And that's not all. Every phone comes with a free 30-day data plan. Don't wait. These holiday savings won't last forever. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Kirshner Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Kirshner Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Antonia Day will now tell us that 2 Guyanese citizens have challenged a project that received the stamp of approval from the Environmental Protection Agency. The duo says the project will pose serious implications for the environment.
The Hammerhead project, which is being approved by the Environmental Protection Agency known as the EPA, is being challenged in court by 2 Guyanese, Wintress Morris and Joy Marcus. According to the claimants, the project will have a negative impact on the planet. In a statement released over the weekend, the plaintiffs explained that they have filed a lawsuit against the EPA in order to shield Guyana and the Guyanese people from the effects of the proposed ExxonMobil Guyana Hammerhead petroleum project. They are represented by attorneys at law Melinda Janke, Tim Prudo, Anna K. Brown, and Susan Bullen. According to the statements, the EPA published terms of reference for the environmental impact assessment, known as the EIA of Hammerhead, failed to consider greenhouse gas pollution caused by burning the oil and gas. Further, that oil and gas will produce huge amounts of greenhouse gas pollution, which, as the agency is well aware, harms people, animals, plants, and the planet. Melinda Janke, the attorney for Morris and Marcus, wrote multiple letters to Kimraj Parshram, the executive director of the EPA, reminding that Hammerhead's EIA terms of reference must identify, describe, and evaluate the project's direct and indirect effects in an attempt to persuade the agency to act in the best interests of the environment. The statement added, and I quote, Mr. Parshram and the EPA have a duty to assess the impacts of that pollution in line with the requirements of the Environmental Protection Act. Otherwise, they cannot make a proper decision without Hammerhead. Every Guyanese, according to the plaintiffs, have a right to know how this pollution from Hammerhead will impact them and their families. Among concerns were, what harm will pollution do to our children? What harm will it do to our fisher folk? What harm will pollution do to the elderly and the vulnerable in our society? What will it do to the climate and the ocean? As we demand answers. Marcus and Morris both expressed disappointment that the executive director of EPA had not corrected the EIA's terms of reference and had disregarded their lawyer's letters without providing an explanation. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Antonio Day will once again join us and tell us that 1 Guyanese citizen is of the staunch view that political influence has placed the board of the Natural Resources Fund into disrepute.
Opposition representative on the Investment Committee, Terence Campbell, is of the staunch view that the current Natural Resources Fund, known as the NRF Board, is heavily politicized. He acknowledged that this is due to the amendment of the Natural Resources Fund Act of 2021, which does not cater for opposition representation on the Accountability and Oversight Committee and its NRF Board.
The government, under the Act, did not cater, they did not want an opposition nominee on that board. And they did not want an opposition nominee either on the Public Accountability and Oversight Committee. The only place that they maybe reluctantly decided to have an opposition nominee is on the Investment Committee.
The NRF Act, which was revised by the current administration in December 2021, does not mean that transparency and accountability are practiced, Campbell argued.
When the PPP says that we have a better act and the act has a board and so on, and I quite honestly, I like the fact that there's a board. But that's at the level of form. At the level of substance, it doesn't translate into greater independence. It doesn't translate into greater accountability.
Campbell elaborated that as a member of the Investment Committee, which is a subset of the NRF Board, it is his duty to pinpoint irregularities regarding the constant withdrawals from the country's sovereign wealth fund. In reference to the NRF Act of 2021, the opposition representative posited that withdrawals must be for national development priorities and/or essential projects to ameliorate the effects of a natural disaster.
The Act states very clearly that funds are to be used for national development priorities. And now that's nebulous.
The NRF was designed with the Santiago principles in mind, which is to ensure prudent management in accordance with the principles of transparency, good governance, and international best practices, and comprises of 22 nominees from civil society groups, professional associations, academia, and local government. Consultation and report sharing are also a key component. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We'll have more news for you after this break. Stay tuned.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Did you know that Guyana has produced 500 million barrels of oil in less than 5 years? Production currently stands at approximately 650,000 barrels per day and is expected to reach 1.2 million barrels daily by 2027. Driving Guyana's future prosperity.
Life is full of beautiful moments, but did you know that everyday activities can expose you and your loved ones to harmful worms? From playing in the dirt to cuddling with pets, even eating unwashed fruits and vegetables. These common activities can cause worm infestation. Intestinal worm infections can cause nausea, fatigue, bloating, or even stomach pains. Dr. Setival has the remedy for you. Use worm medicine to prevent infections and to rid your family of these pests. Check your nearest pharmacy for Levan with pack sizes suitable for families large and small. Just a single dose after a meal treats common worms. Protect your family with Levan so you can focus on what truly matters. Making memories. Distributed by Massey Distribution, Guyana Limited.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. A young man from Bartica is seeking financial assistance after he was awarded a scholarship from an overseas-based college. More details from Daisy Richards.
Delon Jones, a 19-year-old aspiring professional footballer from Bartica Region 7, is seeking financial assistance to pursue his football dreams after he was awarded a scholarship from the Byron and Stratton College and University, Syracuse, New York. The university will cover 60% of the scholarship.
Hence, it started a GoFundMe in order for me to cover my college tuition for the time I will be staying here.
The 19-year-old said that he has acquired financing for one of the 8 semesters after reaching out to businesses and with the help of relatives. He is expected to raise some 13 million Guyanese dollars.
I reached out to the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Marine Affairs, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Guyana Sports Commission.
He said he has reached out to the various government ministries but is yet to receive a favorable response.
I usually video myself and my coach and clips go viral. I got a call from the coach telling me he wants me to play for the college.
Insert. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards. Insert. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
With Christmas just days away, children and elderly residents of Mocha Arcadia, located on the east bank of Demerara, were treated to Christmas treats, which is part of President Irfan Ali's Christmas initiative. Here is more.
On Saturday, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Sonia Parag visited Mocha Arcadia, where she distributed gifts to children and hampers to support families. This initiative is part of President Irfan Ali's plan to spread Christmas cheer across Guyana. Ministers from all ministries are visiting various regions in an effort to spread Christmas cheer as they remember the importance of compassion, love, and unity. Minister Parag also visited the village of Philippi in the Upper Mazaruni Region 7 on behalf of Minister Gail Teixeira, who has the ministerial responsibility for Region 7. The minister was accompanied by the Tushao of Philippi and the Tushao of Parima, Lee Williams, to distribute gifts to the children. She has already visited several other regions, putting smiles on the faces of the children. Meanwhile, born and bred Lindener Jeremy Figuera, in partnership with non-governmental organization Caring for Others, distributed more than 6,000 gifts to children and adults from the mining town. Several residents received the much-needed household items. It was dubbed one of the largest holiday distribution drives to happen in Linden. In addition to children receiving gifts, more than 80 senior citizens received food hampers, while teachers, nurses, and auxiliary staff received microwaves, television sets, and mattresses. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. A small plane carrying 10 people crashed into shops in the center of the tourist city of Gramado in southern Brazil on Sunday, killing everyone on board, state government officials said. The aircraft's owner and pilot Luis Claudio Galazzi died along with the other 9 passengers, all of whom were members of his family, according to the Rio Grande do Sul governor, Eduardo Leite. In addition, 17 people on the ground were injured, Leite said at a press conference, with 12 still receiving hospital care, including 2 in critical condition. He noted that the cause of the crash is being investigated by the Aeronautical Accident Investigation and Prevention Center. The plane reportedly first struck the chimney of a building, then the second floor of a house, before crashing into a furniture store, authorities said. The debris also reached a nearby inn. Nestled in a mountainous region, Gramado is the most popular tourist destination in Rio Grande do Sul, which was severely impacted earlier this year by unprecedented floods that claimed dozens of lives, destroyed infrastructure, and significantly disrupted the state's economy. The accident occurred just days before Christmas, a particularly busy period for the city, which is traditionally adorned with decorations and hosts festive events. In El Salvador violated a woman's rights after denying her an abortion in 2013, despite doctors' calls to terminate her high-risk pregnancy. The Inter-American Court of Human Rights said on Friday. The case of the woman, a domestic worker known as Beatrice, became a symbol of El Salvador's blanket ban on abortion, which punishes with prison time those who undergo the procedure, perform it, or assist with it. The court's decision found the Salvadorian state, quote, internationally responsible for failing to fulfill its duty of due diligence in ensuring the right to access effective judicial remedies, personal integrity, health, and privacy, unquote, for Beatrice, the court said in a statement. Doctors diagnosed then 22-year-old Beatrice, who suffered from lupus and other ailments, with her second high-risk pregnancy in February 2013, and said the fetus would not survive the pregnancy. They recommended an abortion but would not perform the procedure given El Salvador's severe prohibition. Beatrice appealed to the Supreme Court, which rejected her request. In June 2013, she underwent a cesarean section and her daughter died hours later. Beatrice died in 2017 from complications due to a motorcycle accident that occurred en route to a medical appointment. The IACHR said there was not a proven causal link between Beatrice's death in 2017 and the medical care during her second pregnancy in 2013, so it did not rule on state responsibility for her death. In its ruling, the IACHR ordered El Salvador to implement measures such as creating guidelines and protocols for medical and judicial personnel to ensure legal clarity and proper care in similar cases. Finally, in Nigeria, the death toll from stampedes during 2 Christmas charity events in Nigeria has increased from 13 to 32, police said on Sunday. The victims, including at least 4 children, collapsed during crowd surges as people grew desperate for food items while the country grapples with the worst cost of living crisis in a generation. The death included 22 people in southeastern Anambra State's Okija town, where a philanthropist on Saturday organized a food distribution, local police spokesman said. 10 others died in the capital Abuja during a church-organized similar charity event. Police said they were investigating the 2 incidents only days after another stampede in which 35 children were killed. Africa's most populous country is seeing a growing trend by local organizations, churches, and individuals to organize charity events ahead of Christmas to ease economic hardship caused by a cost of living crisis. Witnesses of the Abuja stampede told the Associated Press that there was a crowd surge at one of the church gates as dozens tried to enter the premises at around 4 a.m., hours before gift items were being shared. Some of them, including older people, waited overnight to get food, said Lovett Yang, who rescued one baby from the crush. The stampedes promoted growing calls for authorities to enforce safety measures at such events. Nigerian police also mandated that organizers obtain prior permission. Thank you for watching. Do have a productive week. Until next time.
President Ali dissatisfied with Gaisuko's 2024 performance cooperation, read the Riot Act. Heads will roll if GPL fails to improve services. President Ali, GTU president, threatens court action over suspension and holiday cheer being spread across the country. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.